Good Saturday, September 4th. Let's talk about the Caldor fire this Labor Day weekend. We are expecting to get some better containment over the weekend. I know during the work week, we had some pretty bad air quality out there, as well as very dry conditions and that fire weather that was in effect from really Sunday until Wednesday, as we saw a lot of strong winds as well as pretty bad air quality. Taking a look at the map here and the containment efforts, a lot of areas right around Slide Park, Jenkinson Lake, and all the way on the south end as well as west end of this fire is doing so much better. We're seeing better containment lines there. The only hot spots we're looking at right now is over near Kirkwood, as well as areas of Twin Bridges. That area has been persistent in wanting to jump further into areas of Desolation Wilderness over by Myers as well. And then, of course, the end there for South Lake Tahoe, they're also trying to keep contained over this 3-day weekend. I know a lot of people want to head up toward Tahoe, and this is a prime time for people to do so. The unofficial end of summer, and many people want to head up there, want to enjoy the lake as summer comes to an end. But unfortunately, we are seeing that area close down. 88 portions of that as well closed down. And of course, 50 from Sly Park all the way up for the most part also closed off for travelers, and all of the big national forests as well. They are closed to those who want to visit. So your local parks, that's going to be the way to go if you want to get out there or get on the American River. That's also an option too. All right, Labor Day weekend, the heat up does begin. I'm talking temperatures back into the upper 90s and triple digits all the way at least through Monday. We're going to see some slower winds, and that'll help with the fire growth here. It'll be really limited because of those winds slowing down. And we're still looking at very low humidity, so keep that in mind. You don't necessarily just need strong winds to get this fire going. We have low humidity recovery overnight, meaning we're still expecting about 25% recovery in the overnight hours, so 25% relative humidity remaining. And then in the daytime hours, we could still be in those teens when it comes to relative humidity. And then we do have very dry fuels out there. That's dry vegetation, that brush, all that pine needles, everything that's on the ground level there, so dry still, that catches fire very quickly, so not good there for fire consumption. Okay, let's talk about humidity. So when we take a look at this and we look at the early morning hours, take a look at that 26% in Jackson. It's also what we're looking at near Placerville and areas right around where the lake, where Lake Tahoe is, that's at 73. So that's good there, but the fire is burning right around here. And this is where the overnight recoveries have been only around 25% to about 30%. So again, not good for overnight. And as we dry out further this weekend, we don't expect to see major overnight recoveries, and even in the daytime, we're looking at potential for that humidity to be in the teens. So again, that's not good. And the good part is we don't have strong winds, so we do have the good and the bad still weighing each other out here. Let's look at the smoke forecast. We've been getting this lately as we get into the morning hours. Still some pretty bad air quality all the way down because the overnight hours we get a diurnal wind shift. That means in the overnight hours we get the winds coming in out of the east. That pushes the smoke back down toward the valley. And then when you wake up in the morning, you might actually see some worse air quality when you wake up. The sun might be nice as the sun rises, but other than that, we're going to get bad air quality through the mornings. As the diurnal daytime portions shift, we get the winds coming in off the ocean that pushes everything right back out like this. And then we start to get much better air quality in the valley. So this is going to happen day after day, in and out like that as we move through the weekend. So that's good news. The other good news is the area around Lake Tahoe, they're getting better air quality as well. It's really only the area that the fire is kind of burning that we see some bad air quality or worsening air quality right around South Lake Tahoe. Everyone else, including Truckee, Reno, so much better. And this is great because we've really been seeing all these zones here just really entrenched in all this bad air quality for so long that they're finally getting a little break. So good news. All right, let's take a look at the winds through the weekend. We're pretty much sitting at anywhere from about 4 to 7 mile-per-hour winds, and that's not just today, but really for the entire weekend. Will become calm to light in the overnight hours, and then we see this continual pattern of a little bit pickup in the afternoon, and then it goes back down. So as we get to about 8 a.m. on Monday, we're pretty much calm to light again. The only big wind there is Fairfield at 13 miles per hour. The Delta, it's used to getting some stronger winds. In fact, it usually gets about 16 to 20 mile-per-hour winds in the morning hours. So again, that's even a little bit lower there. All right, this high pressure is the culprit. This is what's keeping us under all that heat and the lack of winds. We have that jet stream pushing way up and over, and then this will sit here for at least the next 3 to 5 days before we start to see some shifts. It's going to take a while, but this area and this trough just out there from the Pacific will slowly make its way across, and this is what's going to happen. We're going to start to see as we get closer to next Friday and next weekend, Thursday even, you start to get back into the 80s. The trough off the Pacific will continue to shift in, and by Friday into Saturday, we're going to look at those temperatures in the lower 80s. So that will be well below average. And then we finally get a little bit more of a heat up as we move toward next week. But this is still right around average for where we should be this time of year. We're going to be slightly above average for areas right around Sacramento. But take a look at this. Most of the country is going to be well above average for central portions of the country. Excuse me here. And then areas around Florida also going to be there slightly above average. All right, let's take a look here at areas of the foothills. Mid-90s for Ione, 85 in Truckee, South Lake Tahoe at 79. And then watch this as we take a look at our 10-day. We'll be reaching about 100 degrees on Sunday and Monday with mid-90s Tuesday. Next week in the mid to low 80s.